Okay, so basically, the French Revolution promised liberty and equality for all. However, after all was said and done, a lot of its ideals were not met like they had promised. For example, women enslaved people, um, lower class people, people of color were not promised the same rights as men for the most part. And in one of the articles that we read in a lesson this week, Olympe de Gouges' Declaration of the Rights of a Woman and of the Female Citizen, they basically directly challenged the hypocrisy of the revolution, stating that women were now economically involved within society. They were paying taxes. However, they didn't have the same political participation nor equal property laws as men, or reform of marriage. So they were basically fighting for that in this article and calling out the revolution for something that they promised would happen and then didn't. So after this was said and done, and there was obviously a huge pushback after this, all that pressure and tension is what caused the radicalism of the Jacobins. And within that, this prompted leaders such as Maximilien Robespierre to argue, thinking that they could defend liberty in the way that only they knew how, and that meant taking extraordinary measures and taking it to the extreme just through violence and stuff. And this is what ended up causing the Reign of Terror. In his 1974 speech, Justification of the Use of Power, Robespierre declared that virtue without terror is powerless. So basically saying that without violence and without inflicting fear on people, then you're not gonna get what you want and people aren't gonna follow you. That's the only way you can be a leader and that's how he thought we were gonna save the Republic. So under this logic, he thought that's how to save the Republic, and the Jacobin methods include political purges, a centralized control, and just like violence in general, thinking that, and this reflected overall that they were scared of a counter-revolution, but also that there wasn't going to be an equal pushback for equality. So ironically enough, this is what led to Napoleon's rise in 1804, as his statement ended up being stability. He wanted more stability and just overall order within the French Republic.